The other day, yesterday, Esther was waiting in a boarding area to get on an airplane to come to see you. And she was sitting very near a woman who was on the telephone having a very loud and unpleasant conversation with someone. Seemed like it might be her daughter. And Esther tried not to focus on it, but it was very loud. And Esther thought about moving, but it was very interesting. And so then the woman said, I can't get a word in. You're not going to stop talking. I can't get a word in. You're not going to hear me. I can't get a word in. I can't get a word in. I can't get a word in. I can't get a word. I can't get a word in. I can't get a word in. Shut up. Shut up. I can't get a word in. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I hate you too. And hung up. And Esther thought, wow. And then the woman looked really sad for a little while. And Esther wanted to go over and put her arm around her and say, you know, we can only hate those we really, really love. And then Esther thought, better that I just mind my own business. And then Esther thought, too late, too late. Haven't been minding my own business. But then through the flight, Esther's thought came back to that because coincidentally, that woman was sitting right next to Esther on a flight that was pre-assigned seats. And so Esther is pondering that, wondering what she should say, if anything, and she didn't say anything. She knew that the momentum was enough that she would just evoke defensiveness. But the wonderful thing about Esther getting to overhear this is that as Esther relaxed and reclined her seat and closed her eyes, she was able to hear our comments about the subject. And we said to Esther, you know, this is the best experience that you've witnessed in a long while that helps you to understand what we've been talking about asking and receiving. How asking the question and receiving the answer are two different modes. And that when you keep talking, when you keep thinking, when you try too hard, when you stay actively involved in solving your own problem, you're in a position where you can't hear the answer even though we all are offering it to you on a steady, ongoing basis. It's just like this woman was screaming at her child, you've got to shut up in order to hear me. Now, we want to say it nicer to you, but you've got to shut up in order to hear your inner being flowing to you, because when you ask, it is always given. But you know what? You ask and it's given and you don't let it in. And you know why you don't let it in? Because you're so looking at what is and arguing for your limitations or trying to explain why it is like it is or justifying it. In other words, there's not a great expectation on the part of most humans that when they ask, it will be given. Someone should write a book about that. When you ask, it is given. Step one is you ask, and life helps you to keep doing that. And step two, it is given. But step three is you've got to be in the listening mode. You've got to be in the receiving mode. You've got to practice the art of allowing. You've got to stop your frantic explaining how it is in order to even catch a little bit of the solution. Now, this mother had wisdom that she was offering. And her child even believes in the wisdom of this mother sometimes. But when you've got the vibration of a problem so active within you, that's why Esther didn't say anything. The problem was so active within her. Esther knew that anything that she might say would not be received. It couldn't be received under those conditions. This woman needed a good night's sleep or a lot of drugs or something. In fact, Esther thought, you need drugs. And then she heard the woman call her therapist and ask for a prescription to be refilled. And Esther thought, ask and it is given. Ask and it is given. It's a different orientation when you begin to understand that you create your own reality and that you are a attractor. You are an attractor. You are an attractor. You are an attractor. You are an attractor by your attention.